Build a case for a health system, months of work. It goes in the way you believe is right through the clinical lead and the business manager, and it comes back a no. It's happened to me. Emails got forward. I read the back and forth, up the chain, and I saw what actually got refused. Wasn't my case. It was a version of it, shorter at every handover, reshaped into other people's words. Someone said no to something that I never actually said, because in a complex sale, the decision gets made in a room you're not in. Here's what I understand now that I didn't then. In a complex sale, the decision almost never happens in front of you. It happens later on in rooms that you're not in, made by people working from memory. And memory keeps very little. Most of what you say is gone in a day or two. So the version that gets decided on is whatever your champion carried in, stripped down, half remembered, and put into their own words. Now, before I get anywhere near how we handle that, one thing has to be true. You have to actually have something that's worth carrying forward. When it's this complex, moving right across a health system, you can't build a future out of enthusiasm. If there's nothing real underneath what you're saying, people feel the story for what it is. And honestly, so should you. So the honest question comes before any technique. Have I genuinely got something that moves the needle here? If I haven't, I don't get to do the rest. And that is the line I hold true to myself. Everything here assumes that you've cleared that barrier. So say it's true, you've got something real. Now think about your last deal. Who carried it after you just left? What did they say to the next person, the person that you probably don't know? And that's the whole game. It's the one part most of us spend nothing on, because the message doesn't move intact. Past person to person, it gets shorter and it bends to fit whoever's carrying it. The details go, and here's the part we cause ourselves. When we over-deliver, the person carrying all of this never really understands it, and nobody repeats what they don't understand. So you don't just lose detail at the chain, you lose your own champion at step one, which changes the job. Now you're building something simple enough that they can carry in their own words. And it has to be light enough for them to actually do that. You have to cut and cut hard. The person you're trying to reach acts on what's sharp enough to cut through. And everything past that is just weight that needs to get dropped, with you having no say in which bit goes. So you've got to make the choice for them. One thing per person built to stick in their language. I've watched a board member do exactly this. Given the full picture, he strips it to one line to get the COO on the call. It worked. Strip it that far and the case gets stronger, because now it's carrying only what you choose. And the thing you're really handing, though, is a picture of the future. Now you can see why it had to be real. The way I've built this for years is through the patient. A real patient, real outcomes that actually happen. From here, the picture forms. It goes from an idea to something solid, and you just keep building on it, story after story, until it holds enough weight that they can see in their own words, on their own ward, and not just your words. Get this right, and your champion walks in carrying the one true thing you choose. Light enough to hold for them to do something with. Get it wrong, and here's what you signed up for. It goes in heavy, comes back a no, and you spend weeks fixing it from a distance. The reframing, re-educating, sending it back up again and back down. And you only get a few goes at that. Not many. Each correction lands lighter than the last. Your champion spends their own credibility carrying it back and forth for you. So getting it right before it goes in is the only version that doesn't wear out the welcome. And I won't skip this part. None of this is about installing something in someone's head. You can't, you shouldn't try. What you're actually doing is reducing what you ask them to carry and helping them see what's genuinely true for them, so they can make the case when you're not there. The test is simple. Does this help them reason and remember what's real, or does it root around their judgment to get a yes that they wouldn't have given you if they saw it clearly? If it's the second, you take it out. So you build the case that wins the room you'll never be in.